Hi crows, how are you doing this morning? Morning everyone, the Mature Simmer here. So we're out here on our farm. Let's go exploring. Want to see if I'm ready to go. Looks like we are. We've got cotton plants everywhere. Just make sure. Yep, there we go. There's where we have our dividing line. So we've got little plants and slightly bigger plants, but we're at a point now where we can get rid of these plants. So let's get to it. Alright, so I've gone ahead and gotten some herbicide down here. Figured I'll just start off down here on the fields where most of my equipment was. I can't go too long without a bonehead move of the day, so what I ended up doing, which I'm kicking myself for because it cost me a good amount of money, is I had to relabel the tanker, as we talked about, but I'm pretty sure I had about over 4,000 liters of liquid fertilizer in that tank before I made it a herbicide tank, and it appears that it just vanished. So basically I caused 4,300 liters of liquid fertilizer to vaporize, so a few $1,000s of supplies for certain. Definitely not one of my proudest moments. Let me turn on my lines here. Line things up. And we'll go ahead and we'll get going on these fields. Alright, we're all set there. Get going. Turn on our sprayer. And we're on our way getting rid of these terrible weeds. See you later. Definitely, I've got a good amount of growth here, but it's been several days as I've been waiting for the fields to mature. So if you recall, I wanted to make sure, I always want to wait until I get to the first growth stage, and since I ended up planting over the day change within FSN, I had a problem in that I had to wait a little bit longer. I had to wait 2 days before I could do this, and in that time, obviously, weeds have had a little more time to sprout. So the other exciting news of the day that I've had going on is I woke up this morning and just doing kind of my checks around the world of what's happening. I saw that Giants had released a FS22 patch, and so I'm pretty excited about that. They're at least starting to change things, which is good. So they've gotten rid of some really glaring bugs that they had, such as plowing and liming, lighting up the whole map, which basically made them semi-useless to utilize, but certainly made the rest of the map much more difficult to utilize until you turned off those items. But they added some significant amounts of equipment. They added 16 pieces of equipment to the game, including things that people have been screaming for a while, like the Case Quad Track, which is the machine I use here. So I'm really excited about that because that's one step closer on the FS22 journey to get into FSN for us, because now I've got at least a tractor that I utilize, that I know I like, and I'll be able to have that available as base FS22 equipment. So I'm going to try to position here and get the headland done so that I can more easily turn around, although more easily with this thing, and the working width it has is all a relative term. I'm so happy I didn't get stuck on that flagpole? Telephone pole. Electric pole. Whatever kind of pole it is. I'm just happy I didn't run into it. I thought for sure I was waiting for that as I was talking, but luckily it didn't happen. So the good news is, at least on this field, we've got small enough growth. Goodness, I'm trying to not run off the edge again, which tends to be a skill set I've developed quite well, and I'm still in danger of doing that. I think I saved myself from myself. But the good news is, at least on this field, with the small growth, I can see this headland line easier. So that'll be good to not waste fertilizer. Alright, so I'm going to continue going ahead, working on these fields, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Alright, so complete with the work that I need to be doing. Just starting to do my cleanup here. So at this point, it's definitely been intriguing to me this year because I think I modified my finance tracking spreadsheet to break out costs and profit by acre. So right now I'm just getting cost because obviously I haven't done any work in selling any crops because I don't have any yet. But, you know, we're at about $350 to $400 per acre in what goes in. And it will be interesting over time to see what impact various crops have given different fertilizer needs and so forth. So just wanted to share that information. Let me repair the equipment, and then I will be running the tanker back up because the last thing I want to do is have a repeat of what happened with my liquid fertilizer and lose tens of thousands of liters of herbicide because I changed the tanker to liquid fertilizer at some point and forget that it still has herbicide in it. So there's definitely some more, or a new process that I basically have to do to go ahead and not create more problems for myself. So I've got the truck out here on 85. So when I was up at 97 and 98, I had refilled from the silo and gone ahead and was able to complete 97 and 98 with one load. So that worked out well. But yeah, here you can see I've got 33,000 liters still in the truck, and the last thing that I'd want to do is lose that, because I believe it's a little bit over $1 a liter, so that'd be $40,000 of product that I lost. So I definitely want to avoid doing that for obvious reasons. If you're trying to run the sim and make money, throwing product away is certainly not a way to do that. Now, I could obviously go ahead and get another tanker and just leave one for herbicide and one for liquid fert, and that's obviously always a possibility. It just doesn't seem like I run into it as often, although now if I'm going down the process I am of running all my fields in something that I can plant with that planter, I may need fert more often, and so therefore it may become one of those irritations that I can get rid of not worrying about it. But then the other issue it causes is I just have another tanker to store, and it's not as if I've got all kinds of space around to do that. So let me see, I think I can get in here. Oh, need to get that trailer out and not so good, because once again my crop is now at the point that it is it is too large. It looks like I have some seeds still there. I didn't realize that either, so I guess at a minimum I'll clean that up, but I may have to wait to not just create extra work and hassle for myself, to wait until next season or at the harvest time to go ahead and swap these things out, because once I harvest here, I can then move this truck without damaging the crop. And my initial thought of leaving it here was that I'd be fine, but I also didn't realize I'd be harvesting cotton, which won't use this truck anyway. So at this point, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that and just hope that I don't suddenly jump in here one day ready to do liquid fertilizer and quickly swap that tank out. But that's where we're at. So if I look at the calendar, I think what we're looking at is cotton can't be harvested at the earliest for 2 days anyway. So we're definitely not going to have any activity tomorrow, but I think we wouldn't have all of it ready anyway. It's possible tomorrow, if harvest was available, that some of the crop would be ready. But the hope is that even though I've got some staggered growth stages, that the crop will be ready here in autumn 1, and then we can get it off the field, and I'll likely go ahead and sell at that point, as I'm certainly going to have enough. I would imagine we'll be getting very close to 40 or more bales by the time I'm done. I may actually be significantly higher than that now that I think about it, because I got 25 bales off of the fields from Sears, and this acreage of mine is larger, so I may actually be right up there ready to fill the entire silo, so which has a capacity of 60 bales. So this could be good. We'll see how things play out. But once again, I thank you for following along here on Misty Hills, and I'll see you next time.